Hi, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your July 1st to the 15th, 2023 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps this channel be seen by the YouTube algorithm, and it helps me out tremendously. So, thank you so very much. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. This is the hangman reversed. We need to be mindful of somebody talking us into seeing things differently when we've already changed our mind about something. It's like, no, but you should see it like this. It's not like the way our mind was before, like talking us back into seeing something an old way. But it's like we've changed our mind. And now there's a sense of, but you should change your mind again. And we're not seeing it the same way they are. So just be aware of it. And it can also be painful. It can be. It can also be painful to, be seeing things differently, to be looking at things differently. And this divide can make us feel like we have a rift or like people aren't getting us. So be aware of that. Let's see what spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading. Here we have abundance. We have to remember, Virgo, that we are abundant, powerful, prosperous people. And keeping that abundance close to our hearts, at our center, is going to be one of the most powerful things we can do for ourselves. Remembering, I walk in abundance. I am part of abundance. It's kind of like manifestation. What you believe is what you'll get, type of thing. It can take a really long time, but we can also have fear as human beings. We also have fear come in. And I was talking to a Qigong master, and what he said was the ugly. It always stays with us more than the beautiful. The beautiful we release. We say, oh, well, that's nice. But the ugly, it like attaches. And so be very mindful about that. The beautiful thoughts, they release, they become part of the universe, right? But the ugly thoughts, they attach. And so a thought of abundance is a beautiful thought. And then the fear of, but that's an ugly thought. It attaches to us, it drags us down. So be aware of that. I found that very helpful. Let's see what spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Okay, what's interesting here is I just got the question from spirit. Is there a love that's also a burden in your life? It doesn't have to be anything other than acknowledging, wow, this love, this thing that not thing, but it can be a thing, person, thing, place that I absolutely love is also weighing me down. It's also really intense. It's also added more responsibilities, burdens, expectations onto my shoulders. And that's a big thing. Like just acknowledging that is going to be very important because It can be like we can be absolutely in love, right? With family, with children, with, life, but it can also feel like, wow, I have so many more burdens, so much more responsibility on my shoulder. Remembering that I am an abundant being and that I am powerful in that abundance is going to help us. Is going to help ease that load. Because we're having a hard time right now with the Six of Wands reverse. We're having a hard time right now celebrating ourselves, seeing what there is to celebrate, moving forward in beauty and tenacity and holding our heads up high. We can really be thinking, no, it's supposed to be different. And Spirit's like, it might be different down the road. But where I stand right now, I have to stand in pride for myself. It's not ego. It's not, look at me, or I have to tell everybody how proud I am of myself. It's, I need to just simply be. And I know that sounds like a poster, a little poster on the wall. Just always think of, being a little kid and all those cat posters that would have sayings on them that they would sell at book fairs. And it's like, okay, it might sound corny, but it's important to be reminded of, to be proud of who you are, even if you're in circumstances that you don't want to be in. And I'm not talking about the horrific ones. I'm not talking about things where it's like, it's just a living nightmare all the time, like really, really dark, chaotic things like that. But even then, like, you have to know you're worth it. You have to. Because if nobody is celebrating you, and if everything is so hard, you have to know that you're worth it. You're not a mistake. It's, I don't think this world is meant to be an evil place. Just putting that out there. Because I know somebody needs to hear it. Because I know somebody here is going through a really dark time. And it's like, it's not supposed to be so dark all the time. And you need to know that. Because sometimes things can become normal. Like, this is just normal. And it's not supposed to be. People say everything happens for a reason. I don't know, with some of the things that I've heard, I don't know necessarily if that's true. But I do know that you are worth it. To hold your head up high and to celebrate yourself. Okay? And I do know that somebody here really needs to hear that. It's not meant to be a TED Talk or anything like that, or maybe it was. So welcome to my TED Talk. But you need to know you're worth it. You need to, because you're not celebrating yourself. And there's a disconnect from spirit, which you could just have cut yourself off, because you could be an empathic person, or you could be, just a person who had, that spiritual connection, and then somebody warped it. And it's like, that wasn't supposed to happen. That wasn't supposed to be. The Four of Wands. This is celebration. This is moving house. This is changing jobs. This is, it doesn't have to be something as big as that, but this is finding sovereigns within the full four walls of your being. Okay? This is a celebration. And my gosh, Virgo, if nobody is celebrating you, start celebrating you. You might not know how. I've seen that. And it's hard to connect with. But now it is time to start celebrating you, to say, I matter. And to know that there are brighter things out there. This is the Minor Arcana wedding card. And it doesn't mean that you have to get married. That's not what it means at all. But it's one of those big changes in your life where you find that your role in existence changes, expectations change. You're going to find that something you're connecting with that brings joy, prosperity, and abundance has you changing your role, changing the way you see yourself, changing the way you celebrate yourself, or starting to celebrate yourself for the very first time. Because for someone out there, you're starting to celebrate you. And it's overwhelming. It's almost like that's where you're going, and like you're changing your mind to start celebrating you. And somebody's like, who the heck do you think you are? It's like, I think I'm worthy of celebration. I think I'm made up of stardust in the universe, and that there's vastness and brilliance to me. The Two of Pentacles reversed. It's trickery. It's having trouble balancing everything. Don't put so much on your plate. Emotionally, you're tapped out. Emotionally, it's really intense. So be aware of that. Don't say, I'm going to juggle this and I'm going to juggle that, because what you're going to do is you're going to burn out and be completely overwhelmed. One thing at a time, at a time. And know that there is somebody who's like whispering in your ear or talking to you, and their words, like you'll feel it. It's like wrong. It's like wrong. That's not right. Like that's not me. So being aware of that is going to be really important. With the lovers, this is Gemini energy, okay? So we can have a very strong connection with the Gemini in our lives, bringing love and prosperity, angels blessing us. But this is the duality of our own nature, the spiritual and the practical, the way that our angels guide us, the way that we are connecting. There is a sense here of beauty being a part of our lives, and we need that. We also need to recognize the duality in ourselves. Also, you know, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. We ourselves, Virgo, are ruled by Mercury. Talking, communicating is very important. If you always swallow your words and shove it down, that's something you need to stop. Now, I would suggest a journal if it's not safe to journal, okay, for whatever reason. You need to communicate. You need to let things out. You could just talk to yourself, or have the conversations in your head. You don't have to sit there and say, oh, I'm going to talk with me, type of thing. So just be aware of this. Be aware of this during this time that Mercury, communication, ideas, the word is very important to us. However, we connect with words. And so blessings are moving us forward. There's also a sense here of letting ourselves be curious, letting ourselves, jump from one thing to another, look at things differently, open up our eyes. But there is also a sense here of being very mindful of a mercurial nature coming forward, where it can be hard to pin us down at times. Like it can be hard to understand what we want, where we're going, because we can feel so drawn to so many different things that it's almost like we do nothing. It's like we do nothing because we want to do everything. And that can also be the heavy load that we're carrying. That can also be really intense for us. This is a time where we start to look at things and say, I'm letting in the joy. I'm letting in the prosperity. I'm letting in the bounty. This is time for me to celebrate me, not to be weighed down with others' expectations, my own expectations, other people's dreams, my own dreams. We need to look at what we're carrying. And this is passion, tenacity, brilliance, and connect with us, connect with what we desire, connect with what we want. We're weighed down so much that all we see is the dirt on our shoes. Life becomes too overwhelming and overbearing. And it's going to be very important for us to say enough is enough. And we do it, and we do this through connecting with the throat chakra, through connecting with our voice. We need to give voice to our dreams, to what we desire. We have those dreams. Like that's a huge part, to have the dreams. But remember, when we have our dreams, we might have them in a totally different vocabulary that spirit wants us to achieve it in. We can sit there and say, oh, I'm very creative and I want to be, XYZ. Or, very mathematically inclined, I want to be XYZ. And spirit's like, no, but you don't even know what your soul is supposed to connect to. So let's discover. Let's not be weighed down by our limited expectations. Let's start discovering. Let's start asking. Let's start opening up the door. And as we do so, we're going to see vampiric energy leaving us, blocked chakras, starting to open, the energy really starting to flow and connect and lead us forward in ways that are just unbelievable, brilliant, beautiful. Focus right now on the crown chakra, also the what is it? The star soul chakra, located 6 inches above our crown. So this is the crown chakra and the soul star chakra. We have the throat chakra and the solar plexus chakra right here, also the heart chakra coming in. And I know this is a lot. And this is the earth star chakra. But if we, not the earth star, the earth chakra right here, connecting us to the ground. And that's located 6 inches below our feet. What we have to do is say, my voice matters. My emotions matter. My heart matters. And my gut feeling, but also understanding that our gut feeling, our solar plexus chakra, can hold a lot of anxiety in it. That's where a lot of our anxiety goes. We push it down, it goes to the gut. We push it down, it goes to the gut. So be aware of that our gut feels when we keep on ignoring ourselves and how we are made and who we are. We can just feel like we can always have stomach pains, right? We can just always have headaches. It'll manifest in our bodies to be this blocked vampiric energy that's stealing our joy and our power away from us. So be aware of that. Be aware. This is a time where we look at those vampiric energies, also from the past, other people's words playing around in our minds. You'll never measure up. You'll never have love. You'll never have what you dream of because it's too late. It's not. It's not. Stop. Stop. We tend to think that if it doesn't happen when we're super young, right? If you don't peak in your teens or in your 20s, it's all over. It's like, no, stop it. And who wants to do that? But it's all downhill. I remember so distinctly a teacher in high school saying to us, she's like, these are the best years of your life. It will never be better than this. And I thought, oh my gosh, I hope not. That was the first thing that went through my head because it wasn't my best years at all. And I thought, oh my gosh, I hope not. Because that means that like after 18, it's all downhill. And that's not my life. Don't let other people's words or other people's expectations or what they show you on TV become your reality, because it's not you. You're you. And that's what this vampiric energy, this energy that's like trying to weigh you down and break you, is like, oh, well, you're not XYZ. It's like, no, you're you. Celebrate that. Celebrate it. Celebrate it. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Three of Wands. We want the doors to open really quickly. We want to move things forward. We want to have this energy, like this flow of energy in and out, that's just powerful, overwhelming, intense. We're not ready for it right now. And that's okay. It's okay not to be ready for things. So let's slow it down. And let's say where I am right now is powerful for me. And let's start claiming ourselves first. And then we start opening doors. Then we start moving forward. It brings us to our subconscious spirit message, which is blissful reverse. We have to start recognizing what bliss is for us, what happiness is for us. Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss. It's not that you are going to be blissful 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's just not how it is. And we can have bad days. It can be linked to, the universe and what's going on in the universe. It can be linked to, the moon, solar flares, whatever. But here, when we start to say, I deserve to be full of bliss, it's like us calling in our abundance. We start to change our very selves. We start to change ourselves completely. And it brings us to our subconscious tarot message, which is the Seven of Pentacles. Be patient. Be patient, because the fruit that you have planted, what you desire, is growing. It's ripening. And even though it might not be ready to eat right now, right, it's coming. And that's what we need to know. We're on the right path, connecting with ourselves, starting to celebrate ourselves, finding balance, moving slower, connecting with what we love, and also knowing that sometimes what we really love, what we're really passionate about, can be burdens to us. And we can question it, but it doesn't mean we turn our back on it, and stop the vampiric energy. Stop the energy that's draining us, siphoning away our strength, our joy, our prosperity. All right. All right, Virgo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. So let's take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Virgo. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.